Welcome to the Sailing and Cruising the East Coast of the United States podcast. I'm Bela Musits. This episode is part of a series I recorded with Mike Malekoff during our sailing trip up the East Coast. We were relocating his Hunter 44 Deck Salon from Brunswick, Georgia to Burlington, Vermont. Please note that the video version of this podcast primarily features photographs and short video clips I captured along our journey. The audio was recorded on the boat, typically in the evenings at anchor or in a marina, although we did record a few segments while underway. Join Mike and me as we explore the United States East Coast aboard his Hunter 44 Deck Salon. I hope you enjoy this podcast. Hello, folks, and welcome again. Here I am with Mike, and we're on his boat. We are in the town of Chesapeake, Virginia, which is on the ICW, and we are at the free dock. They have a very nice dock here in town, very convenient to a whole bunch of things, and we traveled from Coinjock this morning to here. And so tell us a few highlights of the trip from Coinjock to here, Mike.
Well, it was pretty much an uneventful morning in leaving Coinjock. It was very calm. There was a slight threat of rain. We made our way sort of up a canal, but fairly narrow channel as we made our way up to the Chesapeake. We decided to, because we had such a long day yesterday, we decided to break today up into two legs rather than try to go all the way through Norfolk over to Hampton. Not only would it have been a fairly long day, we would have to traverse 13 bridges. So by breaking it up in half, it made it for a little bit more palatable day, considering that we had to go through a thunderstorm today.
Yes. Yeah, we left after gorging ourselves last night on the world's most famous prime rib.
Yes.
At the Coinjock Marina restaurant, which was delicious. We got up around 8 o'clock this morning, I think, and we left a little bit after 9.
Correct.
We left the marina. And for the first hour, stuff was nice. Although we could see the clouds getting darker and darker and darker off to our southwest, I guess. And we'd look at our radar apps on our phone, and there was clearly a line of storms coming. And did they catch us, Mike?
Well, the idea was we thought we could go and get through some open bays before they caught us. But unfortunately, not being able to travel at 15 knots like some of the trawlers and cruising boats, we were meandering along at 6.5 knots, and the storm caught us right in the middle of the bay. So we got to experience high winds, gusts up to 40, 45 miles an hour. I would say driving rain from the side to the point that we couldn't see. And but there was a bright spot that Bela brought up to me. He says, "Look at how the storm is tamping down the waves, the rain."
Yes.
And I said, "Well, at the moment, I don't really care, because the boat is listing over on its side as I try to keep control of it, not being able to see the markers."
Yeah, the visibility was really poor there for a while. It's
Yeah.
probably way less than a quarter mile. It's probably only 100 yards at the most when it was really raining hard. And the wind was really, really blowing. And I was very thankful for your full enclosure, because if we would have been on my boat, which just has a Dodger, but then just a Bimini, and the rain was coming down sideways, we would have been soaked. So we stayed relatively dry in your enclosure, and it was much appreciated, Mike.
Yes, it definitely was. And now on also on the positive side is there were markers in the bay that were fairly evenly placed, so we were able to manage that. But best of all, I have both a chart plotter and an iPad. That's the chart plotter is running Navionics. The iPad is running aqua maps. So I have really good intelligence in being able to see on those charts exactly where I am and which way I'm going, which, you like visual, but it's nice to have that in front of you, that you're able to at least manage the direction. And I am also looking at the compass as well to make sure nothing is going haywire with high winds and stuff along the boat, because we also lost our wind anemometer in this. It's something that's been acting up on the boat. It's a connection. So we eventually lost what the wind speed was. But, I think overall you were very good. You were relaxed through the whole thing. We kind of made fun a little bit about the situation. But the boat really handled it well. The boat's a heavy boat, and I think you just can't panic, and you just manage, and we managed through the storm, and eventually it started to let up and cleared up. So we survived another day of rather difficult conditions for about 2 hours.
Yeah, I know we've talked about this several times. It's remarkable to me how anyone could have done this on a day like today without GPS. And I will say that I remember yesterday the markers, mostly day marks, and day marks are the red or green triangle on a telephone pole, as I like to call it, that's stuck in the water. And they were about 1.5 miles to 2 miles apart yesterday when we were coming up to Coinjock. And I remember even on a clear day, we couldn't see the next marker. It was oftentimes too far away, and we'd have to search for it with binoculars. But today they were much closer together, and I was thankful for that, because the one time where they were impossible to see, even when we were close to them when it was raining really hard, but once the rain let up a little bit, we could always see the next mark off in the distance. Mm-hmm. So I think they were like, must have been 1/4 mile apart or something. Yeah. They were very nicely spaced.
And this is where it helps having two people manage this, because having Bela able to stand and try and visually ID the markers, it gave me the ability not to have to worry about that part, and I could focus more on the chart plotters in keeping our direction going. Rephrase that. Keep going in the correct direction. And then as we got closer to a marker, I would just make sure that Bela could see it visually, and that I wasn't either too far away or too close, and making sure that it matched what I was looking at the chart plotter.
And the reason this is important is, even though we were in a large body of water, a relatively large body of water, it was shallow, and we had to stay in the channel.
Yes.
And so unlike when you're in sort of other parts of the ICW where, you have trees on your left and trees on your right, and you're basically in a ditch, it's pretty easy to go nominally in the direction you're supposed to go in. But today we're in a larger body of water, and it's easy to get disoriented. So Mike could concentrate on watching the chart plotter, watching the iPad, and I could he would tell me, hey, look, there should be a buoy according to the chart plotter, in this direction, and I could look it and spot it and confirm it, and it was good teamwork there for a while.
Yeah, and it helped you to know what was coming up next and which direction to look, as to whether it was a red or a green marker and how many.
Right, exactly. So that went really well. And then when we got here, we got the last spot on the free dock here. There's a free dock. There's a drawbridge here in Chesapeake, the town or the village of Chesapeake on the ICW, and there's free town docks on both if you're heading north, both before you go through the drawbridge and after you go through the drawbridge. And since we got here about 1/4 after the hour, and the drawbridge opens on the hour with no exceptions, and so we decided, you know what, instead of motoring around out there and waiting to go through so we get on the other side of the drawbridge for tomorrow morning, we'll just pull over here, because we can time our departure from here tomorrow to get the proper drawbridge opening time. So, but we were lucky. We got the last slip, the last spot.
We
here.
did get the last spot.
And what happened?
Yeah, we did get the last spot. And we had to get the last spot. And as I said, sailing can be an adventure. Is that there was one of the boats having a good party, and the only way they were going to help or give up that last spot was somebody on our boat had to drink a shot. So me being the captain of the boat, the crew, meaning Bela, nominated me to be that person so that we could get the last spot on the dock.
Yeah, we had a welcoming committee.
We did.
And, right? They helped us dock, was very nice, and then they had a shot. And they said, here you go, who wants it? And so here again, it kind of speaks to the friendly nature of people that you meet along the way on trips like this. And then after we docked, we went for a little walk downtown. We checked it out. It's right here. It's sort of it's not a cute little village. It's more what people would call a commercial strip. Every fast food restaurant you can think of. There's a nice grocery store here. A Kroger's, I think it was.
I think it was.
Yeah, and so all within nice walking distance. So this is a great stop if you need to stock up on supplies, or you just want to eat out someplace.
Yeah.
The Freetown dock is just a dock. There's no power. There's no water. So it's just a place to tie up. And it probably, I think there's maybe 7 boats here, 8 boats on this dock?
On this side.
Yeah,
and there's probably room for another 8 or 10 after the bridge.
On the other side of the bridge.
On the other side of the bridge. But it comes right before the one and only lock on the ICW.
Yeah, so that'll be tomorrow's adventure. So tomorrow's adventures, I think we're going to try to get the 8 o'clock opening of the drawbridge. And only a few hundred yards north of the drawbridge is a lock. And as Mike said, it's the only lock on the ICW. And they coordinate the opening of the drawbridge with the opening of the dock. So you can go under the drawbridge and zip right into the lock. And from there, it's off to Hampton. So we expect to depart here tomorrow at 8. And hopefully tomorrow we will be in Hampton, Virginia. And we'll give you an update then.
And one thing I'd like to mention also on our trip, coming from Coinjock, this is the last 40 some miles of what's considered the ICW going north. And one of the other challenges you face as we enter a fairly large commercial area, we're heading into Norfolk, which is a big city, is the challenge of going through, under, and around multiple bridges. Because I don't think we mentioned that very much, Bela, but between Coinjock and Norfolk, I believe it's 12 or 13 bridges that we either have to go under, or we have to request an opening, or they open at certain times. And I think we forgot to mention that we did really well today, that there were 2 swing bridges that we had to go through. And normally they have a specific opening, or you have to request the opening. And the first one we got to, it happened that there was a big barge waiting to get through, and the bridge tender was nice enough to open it early. We didn't have to wait, so that we were able to zip right through that, and the barge let us go first. And we screamed right down to the next one to get their opening on the hour, and he said, no, I'll open the bridge for you and let you through. So we did have some good luck with swing bridges today.
We did. We had excellent luck with swing bridges today. So hopefully tomorrow will be just as good. Anything else, Mike?
I think that probably covers it, that we've survived another day. The boat is still floating, and tomorrow we'll be go through the big city of Norfolk and end up in Hampton.
All right, so signing off for now. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed this episode. And as always, if you have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to contact us at sailingtheeast, that's all one word, at gmail.com. That's sailingtheeast at gmail.com. Thanks for listening.